I've snoozed the ads because we've been talking, so we have 5 more minutes. Y'all, just to remind everyone, we're also boycotting Amazon for the next week. I have scheduled streams. Wander Home is scheduled for tomorrow. So if you guys ever want to donate stuff, like, thank you. I appreciate you. You don't have to. If you want to know about the boycott, you can do !boycott. You can donate to the Ko-Fi. If you guys send me $20 or $30, I can get a cool editor to help me out because these hands hurt, and I have a lot of stuff to edit, and I want to be able to have, like, help with that. Or just like 1 or 2 taken off my plate so I can just chill. But for this week until the 14th, we are resisting the booty hole that is Bezos. So if you want to know more information about it, yep, nice. Go check out that Instagram. I'm gonna be working on this for 1 to 1.5 hours more. Nice. Thank you, BCN. I don't know why my Ko-Fi didn't work. It worked yesterday. I can't be deterred right now. I can't fix it right now. So we're gonna keep going, and then eventually it'll work. Jeff knows I called him a booty hole, so but he is. All right. So choosing a house, stats, and class. I wanted to do a skill tree. I think a skill tree would be fun so that people don't have to be stuck with, I'm just a warrior and I can't do magic. I like the idea they can dip into other things. But oh, well, look at you. Stop. So you're a father? My goodness, Zero. Congratulations. I love it. Okay. So when players choose a house, they can create their own mushroom, like a house. They just have to choose the region they're in and allegiances that they have. Their region information they'll be like privy to. If they're loyal to a house, like if they're a knight, a meister who is like, well, loyal to the church, they learned from the church and was assigned to the house to teach the children, things like that. Or maybe they're part of the council or the extended family, like how Jon Snow is loyal to the house. He's not part of the house. He is, but you know what I mean. He's not considered part of the house, but he's loyal to House Stark. Or the player can choose to be part of the house. Yes, there are main houses like Game of Thrones. It's Game of Thrones inspired. Yeah, congrats. It's so cute. She's in my living room playing as we speak. I love that. Congrats, Zero. I love the little family. I'm gonna make a cute little form so people can learn the lore and figure out their house rather than going through each of the houses and seeing whichever one works. Hey, both will be open, but I think a form will make it cute and fun. Next, I don't know how to do this, but I would like to do a step 2 classes or skill tree, I guess. And I think I want to make it as simple as possible. Like simple. Okay? My brain doesn't work in anything like mechanics wise, so as a GM, I want to be able to teach this to somebody who wants to like make their character Okay, there's an ad in like a minute. Yeah, I'm trying to be a family man, but we need more space, so we're gonna try to move into a bigger place this year so I can Oh, that's awesome. Well, congrats. What did I have for classes? Blah, 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 blah. So in Witcher, you roll and choose your background, and it defines your relationships, your past events, things like that. In the Game of Thrones TTRPG, thank you for the lurk. I have to drive home. Drive safely. You do the same thing where you pick the house and lands. Then you build your character, their age, their background, their goals, whatever. Then you assign your abilities, but you also have fate points. And then in Dishonored, you have roles. You can be assassins, nobles, scholars, or criminals. Zero's a sweetheart. Yeah, I love it. Thank you. I've missed you so much, and it makes so much sense. Like, you got a little family, Do what you need to do. So they don't have like a fixed class system. They have skills and God, I can't remember the words that you get to approach situations differently. So you're not like tied to like if I'm a warrior, I can only do warrior things. I'm only martial. I can never do this, this, this. Because anybody could get supernatural abilities from the outsider, right? So I want that where I don't have like specific classes. Oh, yeah, it takes a little practice. Are you using 2014 as a base rule set? I don't know D&D much to say like which would be I don't mind. I want to start with D&D because it will make my life easier. Because everything like whatever if you'd made a character BCN on D&D and you brought it to my table, I would be like, "Okay, let's change all of this to the world stuff." So that way it fits into the narrative, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, you develop skills the more you use them. Yeah, skill tree like that. I like skill trees better than just having like a class. Because then you can actually like see a path that you have chosen and points that you have spent on something, which is really cool. Stealth archer. Yep. It's always a stealth archer with like is it lock picking at like 100? Oh god. Was everyone a stealth archer in Skyrim? Were you guys stealth archers? Yeah. I've not played the Alien RPG, but I want to. But Call of Cthulhu works a bit like that, but there's so many numbers. This is why I can't play Call of Cthulhu again. I had to. The one time I played it, I found a website was like make your character, and I went press the button, and it was beautiful. It made all the percentages for me, and I was like, great. I hate doing the percentages so much. I hated it so much. I get it. I like the eventual end. Like I like the percentile feel to it because it feels so much more like the character feels so real. Hate getting there though. Hate the fucking journey, but the result, mwah. I even modded invisibility to be a concentration spell. That makes sense. Lots of tables and crunch. I agree. I don't like that. I don't care for it. Lots of the crunch. Like Witcher's good. You have to understand. I enjoy crunch because of the effect that it comes with. The Witcher game system is crunch, but what you get at the end is a really cool character that is so interwoven into the story. So beautifully interwoven into the story. It doesn't feel like you just pick them out and just like started something. It just feels so good and you're immersed. And it's so much fun, especially if you're a Witcher fan and you wanted to be in that world and the like you wanted to go to Artusa, you wanted to be in those balls, all those things. If feels like that. Same thing with Call of Cthulhu. I just wish I didn't have that all that to get in it, you know? It doesn't I don't need all that to like get my characters, but it there's so many cool things you can do with your character with those skills. Once you do the crunch, you're like, oh, I have photography skill and I can do this and it's very unique and I have like a 95 percentile something for college. I don't even know if any of these are true, but you know, like it makes it so much more unique. You care, and I think that's the most important thing. I agree. Zero. Zero. It's being an introvert is hard no matter who you're trying to like spend a lot of time with, especially loved ones, because you're not trying to hurt their feelings. You just need space and time, and you're taking your time and you're trying, and that's and you care. And I agree with Numa. That's very important. Um, but I'm so happy for you. I've missed you, so I'm glad to hear good things are happening. Um, okay, I need to think about this because my brain is like, what? Skill tree? What? And I like the idea that J Rain said where later on they get like a promotion and they can upgrade skills. Which I think will be fun to do in like a halfway point of the campaign. Are there? I don't know. Are lichens or what is it? Because they're not mushrooms, right? They're like mushrooms and algae, right? So yeah, they're part of the fungi kingdom because the fungi portion is the major partner. After the lichen symbiosis is established, the fungus has the greatest influence on the final form of the lichen's body shape and whether it's tough or flexible. Allow them to take a feat and what's ASI when those things come so they can do some other things, maybe something along those lines, or they can spend some downtime learning a skill. Yeah, that's what I want. So I want to make a let me make a table real quick. Table. Or tier because I want people who are like Littlefinger. Um, I don't know, Numa. I think that's a cool idea. There are a couple things in this world that I'll keep from players that are kind of cool. Like, where did all the other kinds of magic and beings go to? But currently, right now, no lichens. Um, oh, that's a ugly yellow. Who said that was a yellow? Like, yo, let's be honest with ourselves. That's not even making it green. This is out of preparation. um, yeah, no lichens for now. Just nothing new for now because I'm like, we've made so much stuff in the last couple years. I want the players to like make stuff if they have ideas for mushrooms and cute little things, stuff like that. Um, To-do list. One on one. Commander. What else could be under a warrior? Like the duelist would be like Jaime Lannister, uh, being able to be like, we're let's they're a knight, but they do well one on one. Tactics and leadership. A commander feels right if you're a warrior, like someone who can command, give leadership, things like that. And then I need someone who's like the Mountain or like Robert Baratheon, like how he took down Rhaegar, like how everyone said that like they're the shield. Cavalier. Is that the word cavalier? Is it like God, what is that barbarian berserker? Is that what cavalier is? Cavalier. A mounted soldier? A knight? I like that though. I'm gonna change that to cavalier because I think that's better than the commander, but and then the last one I'm gonna do berserker. Oh, like the mountain. Sorry, the mountain from the show, the books, the Game of Thrones show, where they're just full energy and like power, I guess. Um, Numa, Numa, are you telling me to read this book? Because I'm gonna tell you this right now. That is my favorite book, and that is how, like in our Sassine Academy world, that is the entirety of the realm of the dead. How have you not in the, if you have heard any of our Dark Recess game, I love that book. It is my favorite. I have a necromancer who has bells and uses bells to do spells and magic in D&D. Yep. Yep. Oh, Odette's uh Odette's owl is bound and has a ring around its claw because it is actually a bound familiar by the family. Kind of like their actual name, their story. I made like a little clips of just their beginning. Their story is called The Binding of Ragul, and that's how they became like back to their familiar, like the owl, but they're actually a familiar like from the like that they're yep, like mug yes. Yep. Yep. Their introduction, if you watch their first episode, Numa, their father takes them back to this place, this cave, where Ragul says, I will rip you apart. I will uh, get after the family who have bound me. And they have to do a ritual circle of magic to bind them. And when they bind them down, Ragul turns to Regulus, the owl that they know. And their father says to them, promise me one thing. No matter how much you trust him, no matter how many years it takes, and you believe that one day that trust is earned and received, do not ever release him from his bind. And that's how they like learned that they had magic, and they're going to Sassine Academy. I don't know how we have never talked about this. We've known each other for how many years now? You know how much I love that series? Anyway, anyway, we'll talk later because I love that series. Anyway, um, um, Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum. Ba-da, ba, 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 ba. The diplomat? The manipulator? I hate that word, but we're gonna keep that for now. And someone who deals in like blackmail and secrets, kind of like the spider does in Game of Thrones. We'll come back to this. I'd also want a like luck based or like the cursed magic kind of thing. Kind of like the idea for the shroud. Shroud, like mushroom. Shrouded. The oracle. The oath broken. That's pretty cool. And the tricksters. I don't know. The outlanders? No. There's skirmishers? That's how you spell negotiation. Hello. How are you? Is Shadow Broker good? Is there another word for those that deal in secrets and blackmail? I'm gonna use that for now. Blackmail. How you doing? How have you been? Why are you so cute over there? Being all cute, so far away from me. You're a yam? Oh no. I like broker, honestly. Nice. Okay, okay. Silence broker. I'm gonna keep that in here because I do like that. Silent broker is good. Okay. And then even though I know people want to play cool people, I feel like we should definitely find a way to give more reason for people to be like the meisters, the ones who are scholars and historians in the realm, like in Game of Thrones, where there are someone who's just like who's part of it, or in Crown of Candy, Zach Oyama's character, who is my favorite character by the way, um, which I feel like Paige you would love because they play a older like priest character of the church, and their lines just hit like. And then I don't know if skirmisher is the right one, but I want people who are like out there in the wilderness, who are, you know, a crown of candy on a Dimension 20. Oh, wait, who's on your arm? Which one, Numa? Are you typing with one hand right now? You can't move. Biscuit, leave your foot, leave it alone. It is very important information. This is incredibly important information. Are you kidding? Are you joking? This is incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna use like the Outlander because I think like I like the theme that I'm going with the duelist, the warrior, whatever's happening here, we're gonna keep it. But yes, the idea is the wild folk, the assassins, the scouts. Yes, this is by Chill Astronaut. I don't know if you can see it. What's up, Sphinx? How you doing? Seekers. Oh, that's a good one. I definitely want one of the skill trees to be the scout, the assassin, the seekers. No, let's switch. Let's call the tree the seekers because they're all kind of seeking information, and then we'll make the last one the outlander. Yep. 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 I like that. How you guys doing? Let me do a quick stretch because I've been sitting for too long today. My hands kill from just editing. All right. Okay. Okay. I like that. The seekers, the scholar. There's a lot of S words here. Is there another word for scholar that we can use? I clearly know how to spell it. No negotiation. Um, like for those who have wisdom and intelligence, right? Um, and it's a strategist. I like those. Keep going, keep going. That's the vibe. It's not hitting yet. Intellectual is where I want to go. Clerics is the idea, but I don't want to limit it to like cleric. Philosophers are there too, but we want the faith because there's a big church, not the Christian church, not that boring stuff, but there is a mushroom church that controls all magic in this world. They are savants would be too good. Like they're all creatives, right? You have it's like faith and academic, right? Like if somebody went like the only way you are actually accessing magic in this world, like in Witcher, is if you were called to the remote schools of magic that nobody ever returns from. That's the idea. Or you join the church. And that's when people know you. Like when you walk the streets and you are a priest of this church, you're a meister of this church, you have access to magic. Um, Sort of like missionary, but we're going to pull it back from the faith and like right in the middle between wit and um I mean, thesaurus time. Um the acolyte. I like acolyte. The acolyte. I was thinking sage, but that's another S word. And we're already, you know what I mean? The acolyte is good. Acolyte. There we go. Um, and we'll make the scholar one of them. I'm trying to think through the houses. Okay, there's the duelist, one-on-one combat, the cavalier, tactics and leadership, the berserker, brute power, the diplomat, the manipulator, the shadow broker under the courtier, the acolyte, the strategist, the scholar, the occultist. So you could be a priest of a, like of the um like the deep rot or something like that if you wanted to access that kind of magic. Yeah. The Faithful is so good. That's so good. That's so good. Going back, going back. Oh, that's so good. I like the Faithful. Um or I want to switch the Faithful to instead of the strategist because I feel like we have the manipulator and the diplomat for all kinds of strategy. The Faithful is mm, tactics as well. Yeah. What would the Faithful be under? Um, is it tactics that is that just it? We're gonna come back to this. Wisdomous and historical. Yeah, that's awesome. That's perfect. I like that a lot. Uh Occulti is so good, Paige. That's a good name for like a sect of a group. The faithful, guidance and healing. Survival. No, no, that's the Outlander. My brain is looking at the wrong part. Forbidden magic and omens. Fiend would be a cool class. Ooh. That would be cool. I don't know how to branch it in already because I want to try to make this simple, and we already made it like a whole tree. That would be really cool. Maybe like the scout. If you put 3 points into scout, you get like something. I'll think about that. Tracking and ambushing, right? For a scout makes sense. For an assassin, stealth and poison. Outlander. This is the one I want. Survival and adaptation. Yep. That's how you spell words, Megan. Oracle, prophecy, and visions. The oath broken. Defies fate and rules. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like it. Um, um, cool. I think that's good to just start out. And we'll build out what they can do or stuff like that later. But this is good. You would start out with a tree and have a specialization. So a scholar under the acolyte tree. Um, let's say you are of house. Um, you are a scholar of House Shurendell. So you learn from the church. You probably may not have originally came from the island, but let's say you did. You took to the church. You studied in the peaks, uh rose to like a good level, and then was assigned to the house as the Meister of the house. Then yeah, you are the one who takes care of the archives, things like that. And maybe like your story that you want to say is that you know that the royal family has branches that are unknown, and possibly there is an heir out there, something like that. Um that could tie to like your house or something. I don't know. I think that's a good way to start. Okay, now let's keep this here because these are skills and abilities and things, and I don't want to get into the specifics of each until I have the other parts of the structure ready. So, your house is what you start with character creation, a little skill tree to get your skills. Now we do the numbers, the stuff that you will have on a character sheet. Um, yes. And then whatever we build in this section, we can go back to the classes or the skill tree and say like, if you're a warrior and a cavalier, you'll have +1 to this stat. Yes, time for the math. I'm pansexual, but I'm not a math gay. So this is if you are a lovely math gay out there and you want to help me, please come and help me. This is where the crunchy stuff. Because I want to We can do D&D based, but it's boring. You know what I mean? That's real boring. That's me. Yay! We love it. We love it. Um okay. What should I do with this? Brain thinking. Do I want to base on D20 or something else? That name. Nope. What's the apocalypse system? I probably know it. I just don't know the words or the names of things. What is apocalypse? Two D6 and the degrees of success based on the total. Yeah, no, I know it. I know it. Do we want to do 2D6? It is more of a narrative system. I do like that. Um, how about the apocalypse system? Yeah, but each of them has like different numbers of stats and stuff. I love blades, but like there's still some kind of I do like dice pulls too. Ah, dice pulls are cool. How do we build it into this though? I'm talking to somebody who's like, what? I definitely like the narrative system. I don't mind, like I like Blades in the Dark for that. But the fact that they have like how many actions that you could do, all the different skills you can put points in. What is it called? Like attune, command, consort, finesse, hunt, prowl, skirmish, study, survey, like a lot. But it's very, very cool. this is one thing. I do want one to be, I think one stat, the last stat, I don't know what stat we're going to do, but the last stat should be called Shroud because it should represent luck, fate, chaos, and how people deal with the chaos in Magic. I don't know. I don't know, Sphinx. I just thought of a set of people, the Forgotten Ones. Ooh, I like that. I will say, I think there is like a vibe of the Forgotten Ones with the old gods of the shade. I need to change the song. This is making me sad. Even though it's about Glam Dream. Solemn song. Okay. Okay. Um hmm. Um the reason why I want Shroud, I just know I want this one for sure, is because there's a chaos magic system in this Sphinx because it's a low magic world and magic is very like a resource that people hoard, especially the church and some magic schools that are not really known. But there's like destruction that come with it. So if you are a magic user in this world and you're not studied, right, there's still risk. There's still risk. So I want a stat that you can add, like people can put points in. So let's say if you are a scholar and a meister and you've had years in the church to learn, you can add this to your roll to withstand the chaos or like, you know, reach the DC for avoiding the chaos. So like I don't know what this would be useful for. Like chaos magic interactions, critical rolls, fumble mitigation of supernatural stuff. Yeah, yeah, something like a magic check, but more of like you might die. Yep. Yep, instability. Yep. Yep, the idea of this world is that. I'm gonna say metal for the strength. I need something like finesse or something like that. Like like yep, 100%. The the thing that I'm creating um is kind of like Witcher and Dishonored, where there is magic in this world. People are allowed to have magic. No, sorry, socially you're not allowed to have magic. I meant player characters. If they want to have magical characters, they can. But it's gonna be a fuck around and find out kind of situation. Socially, because the church will find you, or someone will find you. And two, you are dealing with something so powerful and so unknown that even those who have studied it, that only their hubris like convinces them that they can actually handle magic. Um, it's that feeling of when Yen was like in The Witcher and they were found by someone who has magic, and even when they've learned it for years, they're still fucking around and like finding out later. You know what I mean? You could magic build up system where certain magics cost X amount, and we can make it like there's a Y property, which is like save, caution, deadly. Um, yeah, I'm gonna do for all kinds of magic. There's some kind of chaos built into it. It's not that I don't want people to be against using magic. I just want players are going to pick those kind of characters because it's so much more fun. You know, you're not trying to keep your character alive. You're trying to put them in the situations that make really good story and make really good, you know, stuff like that. Like, it's why The Witcher is such a good thing to watch because nobody became like to be even a Witcher requires sacrifice. Like, not many survive the process, which is why I'm so excited for the new Witcher game. Um, for Yen to even get what they wanted, they had to sacrifice the. I think they had to say that in the show. Um, I know the game and stuff, but lots of people have watched the show. If you watch the show, Yen sacrifices her like ability to have children to change her shape and form. And that sacrifice and that idea of magic is so much more enticing to me than D&D, where it's like magic. You know, it feels a little more powerful and like meaningful. So that's what I want in this world. Where and in Game of Thrones, there is magic in Game of Thrones. There are beings who can do magic, but they're seen as cultist, like the Red Lady. Like they're seen as like witches or dark magic. You know? Yeah, yeah. That's what I want to build. So the idea of is instead of a table that like something bad happens, if they fail something and they're let's say they're doing something really big, like an explosion or something big, you're going to have a direct effect, right? That applies to you. But if you're slowly doing magic, I love the idea of a buildup of failed shroud rolls until you are something is going to happen. I'm going to copy this, but just so I can have it here for later. We'll do another day on the chaos magic system because that is the other thing. Um, that is the fun part of it for me to be like, you can you can be like who was their character in A Crown of Candy where they're doing magic and it's like the church finding out that they could do it. It was like heresy. Um, I can't remember their character's name, but okay. But that's why I want this. Entropy is a really entropy is a really good word for that page. I really like that. I do want poise because any of the players who want to be at court and to do the arranged marriage stuff, actually find romance and build through that romance, they can have that stat. Poise is a good one for that. I feel like this should either be like faith or wits, but I don't. This is Sauron's theme? Damn.